Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth chapter of Human Figurative Drawing, which is drawing the nose. Drawing the nose. Now we are going to draw our nose in a more detailed, which will be more anatomical, I will say. We are not going to, talk a lot of things about muscles involved and the cartilage involved in the nose. We will draw it, but not very, we won't emphasize much attention to it, but we are definitely going to draw the nose with more three dimensional in a more three-dimensional space, and we will use basic shapes. If you remember, in our previous chapters we discussed how we actually make nose in the face. From this we will go and we will make a better nose, to be honest. We will make something, we will be trying to make a better nose, something like this, but not directly like this. We have to understand how we go from this to this, since we are studying the anatomy here. So let's quickly get to the fourth chapter. And before I go to the fourth chapter, again I would like to remind you about the, holding the pencil from the little bit far away from the center, and you know not from the other end of the pencil, or not very far from, not very close to the tip. Okay, let's get to the chapter and begin our nose drawing. So let's take this for an example. Since we are just focusing on nose, I'll be drawing just the nose for this chapter. But guys, when you make it from now onwards, you have to first make the circle, and the same things, Q for the nose, eyes, and lip line, and then in the end when you put the nose, then you have to make the nose not like this, I'm sorry, from like this, maybe like this, and from this you have to convert it to a more anatomical nose, something like this, which we are going to study now. So this will be our aim from now onwards. So after this we will keep adding on, every part of human body in our gesture drawing, and this is how we will carve out a more anatomical and more refined sketch of a human body. So let's get let's start our journey of nose drawing. So the basic thing which I told you in previous classes, first let's let's make the gesture first, maybe like this, and after that we don't I'll say just don't make the gesture, it's not necessary, since nose is a very rigid thing in your face. It's not moving in a lot of direction in itself, like the hands or the legs or the torso. So let's directly make the shape. I'm taking a light colored pencil for this one, and just make a nose however you think the shape is, maybe something. You don't, guys, I already told you, you don't have to be very correct. This is These studies are just for our, for our own understanding. We don't have to copy anything. So take this thing as an example. So now I will give it another layer, and so I don't want to add too many anatomical details to our nose for now, but also don't have to remember the name of the bone, name of the cartilage, bones and muscles. I'll just So this part is called septum. This part is called the septum, and it looks bit like this. It's bit like this, anatomically speaking. I mean, it's like this, and it definitely has a three-dimensional kind of a shape, like this. We do have a nose ball. Everybody have a nose ball, and it plays a very crucial role, actually, to change the shape of every person. No, every person have a very unique kind of a nose. So for this, I would make a ball for now. Maybe in another example I will show you how, just to make a ball instead of this. I'm making another shape for this thing. Maybe like this. It's like a ball only, guys. I'm just making it into a more in a more three-dimensional kind of a space. Something like this. Something like this. And you know what? You always see there. So the nostril of the nose, you know, it's hollow over here. So the tip doesn't end actually here. So its shape would be something like this. So I'll make another three-dimensional kind of a shape for the tip, right? Maybe like this. And this is our nostril part. It's called alar cartilage, lateral alar cartilage. This portion. So you don't have to know these things for now. Just try to convert your nose into more shapes, right? So this is the nose wing. You can definitely call it a nose wing for now. This is a nose wing, and see, like this. I hope you can see the planes now in the nose. Let me put another layer so you will understand the three dimensionality of what we made. So let me. So this is our nose. See, three dimensional, more in a three-dimensional kind of a space. A little bit. Guys, use hatching, right? Don't do this as I already told you. You can scribble if you want, use this technique. Use mark making, what I mean, what I want. Just don't, do this for now. So, yeah. So, this is the right. See, we can put a little bit of shadow over here. Even if you don't see much shadow, just put it, because since we are learning, we are studying the anatomy of the nose, right? And I hope you can see the three dimension of the nose, and you can add a little bit of shadow over here also, right? So maybe I will, lighten this and show you. I will merge these three layers and decrease the opacity, what we just made. So oops, another layer. Yeah. So guys, this is what I mean we are doing here, like this. And see, now you can see, that's how you get like the more simplified version, what we usually draw. So but we have to understand the mechanics behind it. That's how you achieve a much better nose, right? See, since you already know this part, there is some three dimensionality to it. So from now on, you are not going to leave it just like that. You will give a little bit shadow. See, these things will come automatically. The more studies you will do, the better you will understand. So something like this. If you wish, since there is like this knee cartilage, you can get a little bit of shadow here, right? If I'll remove previous layer, see, we did made a little bit of nose here. Not so great, but things will get better in future, right? It's more about how we practice. That's it. It's very easy, guys. How from a rectangular cuboid beam and adding more shapes to it, we just made a decent looking nose here. Let me give you another example now. uh, let's hide these layers. Take another example, maybe this, a little, exaggerated. So now, since you understand the basics of the nose, so see what we have to do. Again, make the shape. First, make that shape you think, you use whatever shape you think will go with this nose. I think this is it for me. This is it. For me, it's like this. Like this. And now I'll take another pencil. It won't take much time if you will keep practicing. I'll take another pencil. Right. Now, as I told you before, this I'll tell you, even easier method. Make a ball here. There are several methods. For the nostrils also you can do the same thing. Make a oval here. See, there are a lot of artists use different kind of techniques. Guys, septum is not very visible here because of the foreshortening. You can leave it. And so let me give more shape to this. Right. We have to give little bit of, we have to see our nose in a more three-dimensional space. So let me add, right, let me add some shape to our nose. Try to visualize your nose in a three-dimensional space. It will definitely take some time, but you can see. Make your own shapes, as I already told you. Make your own shapes. Don't be hesitant about it, what kind of shape you are making. See, even this part will be, this hollow part will be dark, right? It's very easy, guys. See, if you divide your shape if you divide your nose into simple shapes, things become quite easy, isn't it? It's not that tough then, right? Let me simplify it for you. I'll just decrease the opacity. Yes. So, right. So I might give a little bit of shading, so you understand. So you will understand what we did here. Right. See, like it's like a architectural space. I wish you guys had interest in clay modeling or anything, because I believe a sculptor actually visualize these stuff. This shouldn't be this dark. I was just trying to make it more three-dimensional for you. So there is circle. See, convert it into anatomical space. Don't be afraid to make marks. Make more layers. Make more layers. Right? Make more layers. So I guess you understood what we are trying to do here. See, a very small nose ball here just because a lot of foreshortening is happening. So first you made that ball and then give it a three-dimensional space. We are aiming this kind of, you know, this kind of approach instead of directly making nose. The more you will break your nose into a three-dimensional space, the better you will understand its structure. And there is no, definitive end to it. So let me give you another example again. So this was like a very extreme version of nose. See, if I'll make the lip, very very extreme version. So let me make it more. So this is how we actually approach anatomical study in a nose. So you keep correcting your shapes, you study, and you keep studying it, you keep studying the shapes, and the more complicated it becomes, just feel, then I will say you should feel good about it because you are getting deeper in your, in your analysis of the anatomy of the nose. Let me give you one last example, and very quick one this time. Let me show you what we are. Yes, this one. So this is another extreme. Girl is looking down, and I will be very very quick with this one. And in this one, you won't be able to see the base. So this is the thing. Honestly speaking, I want you to understand at this point what happens when person sees down, then what happens to the shape of the nose, and the next stage, again as we have already studied, try to make the nose ball, first make it like this, and add add shape to it, give it as many direction you want. It's all right, you can be wrong with this thing, doesn't matter, right? Just make it into shapes. See, too much shape. So septum, in this one septum is very very clear. See, this is the septum, this is the lateral cartilage, the nose wing. Very robotic nose I have made. Let me simplify it for you. So, oops, wrong layer. But we do got the idea, right? See, from here you can now take control. Make more fluid strokes. This plane is quite visible, right? Like this. Like this. We will learn about shadows in our later classes. Don't worry about it like if you are making your shadows wrong. Don't have to think about it at this moment. So, right, or looking, she's looking down like this. So what happens when you give shape? You know that there is this three dimensionality to the nose, and that's how you kind of get a better anatomical nose. One more layer, you know, one more layer above this thing, like this, like this. See, just to get this tip, we did lot of, we made septum and all. But see, her septum is not like this, it's a little bit straight. So that's how people anatomy changes a lot. And lips are very, very close, right? Very, very close. Even more closer to this. Anyways, the nose ball. Nose ball is very visible in these kind of angles. So a little bit of shading here. Yeah. So well, this was our anatomical nose. Uh, so that's it for the nose, guys. Practice this thing. If you feel, you know, I was a little fast, just pause the video, see it again, see this guy nose. So everyone has a different kind of nose. Why it's different? In lot of ways, because of his septum, right, which we studied. This is his nose ball. His nostril wings are very big. So when you combine all these things and you understand them well, you are able to give better shading. And so that's why we are studying the anatomy of the nose. So that's it, guys. I hope you learned something in this class. And in next class we will probably take how to make eyes. And till then, I hope you will practice. I will see you again. Have a nice day, guys. Bye bye.